What are the top 5 things you need to know about this annual election period when it comes to the 2026 Medicare Part D drug plans? Hi, I'm Chris Prang. I'm the Medicare analyst. I'm a licensed agent in 17 states, and my goal is to help people like you make a wise and confident decision about all of their Medicare choices so they can protect their income, their assets, their savings, and their health. So, number one thing that you need to know about is odds are your deductible is going up. The max deductible for next year will be $615. Now, if you're on a plan where the deductible doesn't come into play, then that's great. But you do need to be paying attention to that for sure. And there's a really good chance your premium is going up. And I've addressed that in some other videos as well. But you need to know that. Not everybody's premium is going to go up. I think some people are going to be surprised and actually see a lower premium for next year. But that is number one. The number two thing you need to know about is there will be less plans next year to pick from because Anthem is terminating all their plans and some other companies are consolidating, whereas before they had 3 plans, now they are down to 2 plans. So a couple of years ago, the average state had probably 24 different Part D drug plans to pick from. This year, it's probably 14 or 15. Next year, I think it's going to be 10 or less in many states for people to pick from. The number 3 thing that you need to be looking out for is realizing that your drugs that you're on right now, you may find that they're not covered or they've adjusted the tier. Perhaps this year it's a tier 2, next year it's a tier 3, or this year it's a tier 3 and they've bumped it up to a tier 4. So what that means for you is your premium may be the same, your co-payments may be the same, but all of a sudden maybe a medication's not covered or they've adjusted the tier, which means that medication's going to cost you more money. And that's why it's important that you check. Don't just look at the annual notice of change. You're going to need to check the formulary, which sometimes can be difficult. You can typically go to the company's website and sometimes track it down. And the best thing you could do to compare your current plan from this year to next year is not just the annual notice of change, but is to use the Medicare.gov prescription calculator, because on there you can put all your medications in, put your preferred pharmacies in, and then run the calculator. What it will do is it will sort the plans from lowest to highest overall cost, meaning what you would pay in premium, any deductible that you would have to pay, and any co-payments or co-insurance. And you typically want to go with the lowest or one of the lowest overall cost plans to go from. So if your plan was good this year, but you compare it next year and maybe it's not, you can go right ahead and enroll on the Medicare.gov website. Number 4 thing you need to do about your Medicare drug coverage is if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, it is critical also that you compare the drug coverage from your current Medicare Advantage plan to that plan next year, but also to other plans that are available. Usually if people are on cheap generics, it doesn't make too much of a difference. But if you're on brand name drugs or specialty drugs, well, from one year to the next, it can make a big difference. You could be looking at your Medicare Advantage plan right now and, hey, it's got a low premium, the max amount of pocket is low, the benefits are great, but my drug coverage is $2,000 a year. Whereas if I go with a different Medicare Advantage plan, my drug coverage maybe is only $1,000. So you have to weigh those pluses and minuses. And number 5, as I've already alluded to, you should learn how to use the Medicare RX calculator or find somebody that can help you use the Medicare RX calculator. Now, I always do this for my clients. If someone is an existing Medicare Advantage member or becoming a Medicare Advantage member or a Medicare supplement client that is looking for a drug plan, I always do that for them. I do want to give you a word of caution. If you call certain companies, maybe certain agents or the big brokerages, what you may find if you ask them about the Medicare Part D is they may not give you all the plans that are available. And that is because as agents, less and less of the companies are actually paying us. So they may only recommend the plans that they are getting paid for. I personally don't do that. So my best suggestion is compare your current drug coverage, whether it's a standalone drug plan or Medicare Advantage plan, using the Medicare RX calculator. Those are the top 5 things you need to know about when it comes to your Medicare prescription coverage for 2026. If you happen to be from one of the 17 states that I'm licensed in and you want to find out a good solution for 2026, then by all means, feel free to reach out to me. You will need to complete the wonderful Medicare Scope of Appointment form. I will need your medications. If you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, I will need the names of your providers, preferred hospitals, etc. So that's it for today. The top 5 things you need to know about for your Medicare Part D coverage for 2026. To stay up to date and gain more insight on maximizing your Medicare coverage, especially this time of year, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm Chris Prying, the Medicare Analyst. Make it a great day.